Hi, everyone. Thanks for attending our class of 2025. Welcome to Lewisburg High School Zoom. I do want to send an apology. Our original one that we hosted um, the Monday evening did not record properly. So Mr. Wetzel and I are going to run through that same material today. And then we will be posting this to the website and getting that out to you. So the first thing we want to say as we move forward is give you some important dates. So your students should have already received course selection sheets at the middle school. And it did have a timeline of things on that. Now, some things changed a little bit, but the Power School portal is open. Students should return their sheets to their middle school homeroom. Those students who are in e-school should just return them to the counselor's office. We do ask for the paper forms to be returned because they do help us in terms of just making sure that people selected the right things and that there weren't any errors, or seeing who hasn't turned and submitted a schedule in, or who might need to be reminded that they have to go on to the portal. May 28th, the Power School portal closes. We'll give you some instructions on how to navigate that in a little bit. July and August will make the schedules available. So scheduling and when the classes are and what we're offering, that all gets determined after students fill out their requests. Usually our courses need to have at least 10 students to run. So again, there might be some instances where if we don't have enough requests to have a course, that gets that isn't offered, but that's very rare that happens. So that'll be put together in June and the beginning of July. As I said, July and August schedules will be available. On the 18th of August, we'll have the first day of high school. That'll be for the freshmen only. We will have our link crew leaders who will help to navigate the high school with you, and you get the opportunity to just experience it yourselves without any of the upperclassmen there. You get to go to your actual scheduled classes, have lunch just yourselves, navigate any place in the building. That we found that worked really well last year. The 19th, we'll be having the 10th through 12th graders in, and then the 20th, all students. So freshmen will have the 19th off, and then they'll return on the 20th. Just very quickly, I want to just point out the 5 pathways to graduation. So originally was supposed to be that students would have to pass the Capstone exams in biology, algebra, and literature to graduate, in addition to local requirements. They have changed this in recent years so that there's now 5 pathways to graduation for the Capstone. Lewisburg, of course, we always do what the state requirements are and then our own. We'll send more information out when it becomes more more relevant to the students in terms of what they need by way of the state. But right now this goes into effect with the class of 2023. And just the thing for me to say here is not to worry, because now it's not relying just on one single test. There are multiple ways that a student can show a pathway to graduation that's approved by the state. And we are very confident that our students will have no difficulty with this. Now, as we look at Lewisburg's graduation requirements, students right now need 27.25 credits to graduate. That is a board policy. Those are always being reviewed and things, but as of right now, that is the number of credits that are needed. They must have 4 credits of math, English, social studies, and science, although there are some exceptions for our son students. They must have 1.5 credits in arts and humanities. So that would include things like foreign language, your art classes, some other areas and some of the social studies. 2 credits of physical education. Now there is an error on the sheet that went home. That should be 0.25 each when you see where you select your PE on that form, not 0.5. It's 0.5 a year, only 0.25 a semester. They also must have taken personal finance and careers. That has now been made into two separate courses. They take high school seminar their freshman year for a quarter credit, and then they'll take their personal finance in 11th grade as a quarter credit. They must have a ninth grade music course. We'll talk about that later, a required visual arts class, and as I said, the high school seminar class. And then they also must have completed a graduation requirement and project. Oh, I'm sorry. They also must have taken health. That is also a required class to graduate. And again, the graduation projects, you'll get information on that when the students enter freshman year. We're doing some exciting revamping of that to make it more career and college connected. So our freshman required classes are that you have to have Honors English or Honors English 9. On math, you would need to see the course sequence sheet. So all students received one of those, and plus it was emailed as well. So the majority, the vast majority, probably 95%, if not more, of the students will either be going into Algebra 1 or they'll be going into geometry. So those are the two courses that the majority of our students going into ninth grade take. Some students may need, there are some exceptions that may need to trigger something, trigonometry. If you do, we ask that you let the high school office know, or let the middle school know to contact us if those are students who had already previously accelerated. We don't put that in the portal because that really serves as a source of confusion for our students. Students are also required to take one full credit in social studies, and those are divided up between two half-credit courses. So you have economics and citizenship. The same is true for science. There is a semester of environment and a semester of ecology. They also need to take one PE course per semester. We could do either the traditional physical education course or the lifetime fitness course, which is more a personalized kind of workout session that you work on with the teacher to create during that class. As we mentioned, you need to be involved in at least one of the performing arts ensembles or take one of the music classes. And then there's also the high school seminar class. So this comes up to 5.25 credits, which gives you a credit and a half to 2.75 credits that you can take in electives. So some students may be inquiring about acceleration. Those requests must be approved by the high school principal. Typically, if we see those, it's in the area of math or foreign language. You may not accelerate for a required course. So for instance, you may not accelerate through either citizenship or the econ. You wouldn't be able to for the English. So anything that is a required course that you must take, you are not able to accelerate. Forms should be turned into the high school guidance office by June 4th. You can get those from the middle school counselor. And the summer acceleration, so for instance, say you're trying to accelerate in math, that must be completed by August 11th before you would go into your sequenced math class. High school seminar is something that we added for this current year. And if we look at the research, it really talks about ninth grade being pivotal to the entire overall high school success. So on the advice and feedback from our graduates, they noted that the personal finance that was previously offered in ninth grade really would be better served happening later in their high school career when they have more of a direct real world application. And that's at the point where they're either going into the workforce or going and looking at colleges and understanding credit reports and budgeting, taxes, all of those types of things. Also, a lot of students are getting those jobs at the first time. So they actually have a paycheck that they can equate some of that to. So again, we've split that now into high school seminar in 9th and personal finance in 11th. And both of those are 0.25 credits and are semester long classes. Some of the topics we cover in high school seminar include career pathways and exploration, digital literacy, digital citizenship, time management, and study skills. We also talk a lot about your digital footprint, um, making sure that you're leaving a good digital footprint on your social media or online presence. We also talk about some other things like the importance of sleep, the importance of study skills, time management, how to fit different things in, those skills that really could set you up for success in high school. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Wetzel, and he's going to talk a little bit about the high school schedule.
Thank you, Ms. Reber. So some of you may have been reaching out to current high school students to ask questions about the schedule. This year, we are doing a semester block schedule. So it will look different if you've seen any schedules from this year or heard about this year. Next year, we are going back to the alternating A-B year block schedule. So we don't have a 6-day schedule. It's just you'll have courses, and we'll look at an example on the next slide of an A day set of classes and then a B day, and it just alternates. We have year-long courses that meet every other day for the entire school year, and we also have courses that will meet every other day just for a semester. The year-long courses would be a credit. The half-year courses would be half a credit. And when we'll use the terminology, you'll hear either A-B days or odd and even days. In a day, there are 4 blocks. Each block is made up of 2 periods, so that would be a total of 8 periods throughout the day. Some classes are full blocks. Other classes like band, orchestra, gym, or some of the examples are just a skinny class, we call that, which would just be a single period instead of a full block. We also have a flex and advisory period. On your schedule, this will show up as like a period 9 class. It's not an actual class. That's just how it shows up on the schedule. This year, we eliminated the midday advisory time, and we did it first thing. That's something we're going to be evaluating and using the input of students and staff as we plan ahead for next year to see what would be the best fit for that time period or when we should have advisory. And then your lunches will be during your period 5 and 6 class. That schedule set up once course requests are done. We then look at the requests of teachers. Like AP classes typically like to eat either the first lunch or last lunch, so there's not an interference if they're working through a big paper or exam. Science classes too typically prefer kind of the first lunch or last lunch just so labs aren't interrupted. So you'll get those schedules once the school year starts. The teachers will review those the first few days of school when each class eats. But there are 3 different lunch periods during that 5-6 time, so you'll eat one of those times. And then also something that will be new for you at the high school, we also have study halls. You do not sign up for study halls, so there's nothing on the course request sheet where you'll say you want a study hall. That's done based on your requests, seeing where your requests fit into the schedule, and then if you would have any open periods, typically they would be paired up with like a gym class if nothing else fits in there. If you're not signing up for any other skinny classes, the study hall will then be paired up to complete that full block for you. So we'll look at an example of a schedule here. Now, just a heads up with this schedule, we had to take it not from this year, but the year before. So you do not see high school seminar on here. We did not offer that class 2 years ago. But because this is an example of the AB schedule, the alternating schedule, that's why we wanted to use this. So with this schedule across the top, those are the numbers 1 through 9. Those are the number or the class period. And again, advisory at the end, number 9, there's not a 9th period. That's just where it shows up on your schedule so you can see who your advisor is. Then what you'll notice all the way on the left, there's an A and a B. So if you would start on the left and move to the right in the A column, you will see this student has geometry, periods 1 and 2. And because that goes down from Q1, which is quarter 1, all the way to Q4, that is a full year course. Then moving over into period 3, 4, personal finance and career exploration, which again, that's where Ms. Reber just talked about. We've divided those into 2 separate classes. Personal finance, which you'll have junior year, and then high school seminar. That's during the 3-4 time, but only for quarter 1 and 2. quarter 3 and 4, this student would then switch to performing arts appreciation. And you can just follow their schedule from left to right across the screen there. Down below, you can see the B schedule. So this would be on the other days. These are the courses they would have. And again, you can see based on if those classes fit from quarter 1 all the way to quarter 4, they're a full year course. If it's just 2 of the quarters, it's a half year course. And you can also notice on the bottom there and the top where study hall is matched up with the gym class just to fill that full block for the students.
And just to give a little more information, our band usually meets on A days, period 1, orchestra B days, also period 1, and then our concert choir A days, period 2, and chamber choir B days, period 2. And then there is a 9th grade choir, but that'll meet at another point during the day during the schedule. So just if you're involved, especially in band and orchestra, expect those to be in your first period blocks, days 1 or A and B, and during that first period block. Okay, Mr. Wetzel.
So just some things to think about when you're making your scheduling decisions. In the course selection guide, you will see prerequisites, sequences, and recommendations. Our staff has put a lot of time into thinking what is the best information to get out to students, the sequence of courses, prerequisites. So please take those into consideration. Also think about exploring future career options. We don't expect everyone to know exactly what they want to do. So please take things that you may find of interest and that could lead to maybe you making some decisions after high school and careers you would want to go into. Make sure your choices reflect your busy lives. Our students are super active in so many different ways, so take jobs, family obligations, and extracurriculars into mind. Please don't overextend yourself. We want you to enjoy the courses you're in, get the most out of them. So take a lot of those things in mind as you set up your schedule in high school. You can also contact Mrs. Fennell and Mrs. O'Connor or Dr. Zach for career information. They're always willing to help. So if you have any questions, please reach out to them and talk to your current teachers and counselor if you have questions about the level of a course to select or what their suggestions would be for you, as they know you very well. So for the performing arts electives, all students must take at least one of these to graduate. It's a graduation requirement. If you are in an ensemble, which would be orchestra, band, or 9th grade choir, that will count to fulfill this graduation requirement for you. If not, our options that fulfill those requirements are performing arts appreciation, band techniques, and music technology. So again, if you're in an ensemble, you've taken care of that requirement. If not, take one of those other electives. Also, the world language elective, we offer French, German, and Spanish. If it's the first year of a language, choose an alternate as the number of sections are smaller, and we'll make every effort we can to schedule your first choice for you. Then here are some other 9th grade electives. I know it's a lot to take in and look at here, but we do have a lot of really good courses and in a broad range of fields. So we encourage you, anything of interest, sign up for those courses and get an experience for what that career field can offer, and it can really make an impact on your decisions moving forward. We also have down at the bottom right, it's a 10th grade course, or you can start taking in 10th grade, but it is a new course, so we just wanted to put that out there so you're aware of it. It is AP Computer Science. We're very excited to be able to offer this new course. And that's something you would be able to take as early as 10th grade if you meet the prerequisites.
And the prerequisites for that are Algebra 2, must have completed Algebra 2, and you also need to take one of the courses in our technology education, specifically related to tech ed, so not our business courses. So some examples of courses that would meet that are advanced prototyping and design, CAD, communication and video production, computer programming, graphic design, foundations of engineering design, and I believe that's it on that. So in order to take the AP computer science in your 10th grade year, you do have to make sure you have Algebra 2 completed, and you do have to have already taken one of those other courses I mentioned. Again, it can either be taken as an elective or as a math class, although we do not recommend that students take that as a math in their 10th grade year. If you're taking it in 10th grade, we suggest that that is an elective. Our next area is our Power School scheduling. We can see we have the link there. Students need to log in with their lunch ID and then their password. Middle schoolers should have been already going on to Power School quite frequently at the middle school. If you do not know the login information, you will need to contact the middle school for that. One note that I want to put is it's important that you make sure you do this from the student account, not the parent account. Sometimes parents, especially if they have multiple students in the district, they set up like a single account where they can access all student accounts. It will not allow you to schedule from that. So you need to go to the student page and log in by the student, and then you'll see the class registration icon. There are step-by-step directions from a video we created last year. It's accessible by the YouTube link that you see. You may complete that offsite or at school, either is fine. And you have until the 28th that you can make changes in the portal. At that time, the portal will close. Mr. Wetzel, would you like to talk a little bit about our counseling services?
Sure. So just an example of some of the services that we offer. Orientation. We do orientation for students when they move into the district, new student orientation, freshman orientation. We also have Link Crew, which we'll touch on a little bit later in the presentation to help ninth graders transition from 8th grade into the high school and matching them up with some of our leaders here that have gone through the Link Crew training program. We have individualized counseling. Our counselors here at the high school are divided up just like Mrs. Ulrich and Mr. Mallory at the middle school. They each take half of the alphabet by last name alphabetically. Mrs. O'Connor is A through K, and Mrs. Fennel is the end of the alphabet. They also provide college and post-secondary counseling. They're able to answer questions for you on anything you're thinking there as you consider your future. Technical and career counseling. They also help set up SAT, ACT, Keystone, and AP testing. So if you have questions on any of those, they're able to help you with that. And we are also a host school for the SAT and ACT counseling. So we can help with that process as you're looking to sign up for those. And we also have Mr. Jared Curry, a school social worker. He is here full-time in the high school. So just another great resource to help with any questions or needs you may have. And some of the other services that we offer, we do have learning support. And students that are in learning support are able to have their study halls in those rooms to have assistance from the staff there. We have GIEPs, ELL, SAP, which is the Student Assistance Program. And this is more behind the scenes of staff that have been trained in this, just to keep an eye on all students and making sure we're doing all we can to help support our students during their high school years. And finally, Dragon Lair. This is something that didn't happen as consistently this year just to the COVID-19 mitigation efforts we had in place. But this is something we'll look at putting back into place for next year, and we'll announce those days and times. But what it is, it's an after-school time that students are able to stay. It's not ever set up as a punishment, so it's just by choice, and you can touch base with your teachers if you've missed classes or you need to make up work or you're just unsure of the directions for work. You can work with those teachers. You don't have to stay with them the whole time. You can bounce around and check in with a couple different teachers if you would like. Just an after school time to help if you have a busy schedule and can't get to that during the school day.
So an exciting thing coming during the 2022-2023 2023 school year is that Lewisburg has been approved to be an AP Capstone Diploma School. So that is the Advanced Placements Diploma Program. It focuses on real-world applications, collaboration, research. There are about 2,000 schools worldwide and growing that are using AP Capstone. And the goal of it is to make the AP courses more cohesive by adding the 2 AP diploma courses. Lewisburg has one of, if not the, in the region by far, the most offerings of AP courses. I think you have to get to Harrisburg and down below, or to State College and down below Harrisburg to get to other courses, schools that have as many courses as we do that are AP. So we offer a wide breadth of them, but sometimes there's not a lot of continuity between them as the students are taking them. Certainly you want students to explore, but also by their junior, senior year, focusing in on those that really are geared towards what they might want to pursue in the secondary education. So with AP Capstone, there are 2 courses that will be added: AP Seminar and AP Research. AP Seminar takes place during the first year, so that will be most likely in when these students are in 10th grade. The class of 2025 will be the first students who have the opportunity to go through this diploma program. So interested students, when they would be going into their 10th grade year, would be able to take AP Seminar, and you can see that it focuses on things like TM project and presentation. It's individual research-based essay and presentation, and an end of the year course. Then they also can take AP Research, which next year will be our planning year. So we haven't determined if we will offer that in our junior or senior year. There's a strong possibility or likelihood that we'll be doing that as the senior year culminating for those students who wish to take it. So it's individualized. They'll have an academic paper, a presentation, and oral defense. If the students successfully complete those 2 courses, then they are eligible for an AP Seminar and Research certificate. However, if they also take 4 other AP courses and exams at any point throughout high school and scored at least a 3 on the exams, they are able to graduate with the AP Capstone Diploma. So we are really excited about this. We're extremely excited about getting that planning committee together next year and working out those fine details of the program. Earlier, Mr. Wetzel and I had mentioned Link Crew. So students, when you come on August 18th, we will have our Link leaders, which are made up of 11th and 12th graders. They will be here to welcome you, to make sure that you don't need anything, that you get everywhere you need to go. And they also will be assigned to various homerooms and advisories. So during flex and different things throughout the year, they'll be coming and talking to you and checking in with you. We also do planned events during the school year. Unfortunately, we weren't able to hold those this year, but hopefully we'll be able to next year. And also, one of the things that is really a valuable part of high schoolers' experience are extracurriculars, co-curriculars, and clubs. And these typically have taken place, I let you know when the band and orchestra and choruses meet. Extracurriculars with our athletics, of course, is after school, and our clubs is during the day. So usually our clubs and things take place kind of like the middle school at midday. So we're re-looking at the schedule and things, but you name it, there's a club for it. You see here our Model UN students. That has become a very popular club. We have FBLA, which is for students that are business oriented. We have lots of clubs that the students have initiated. So we have things like, beekeeping and outdoor club and just a lot of different things. And we encourage students to propose new ideas for clubs. So for instance, Model UN was one that Mr. Wetzel and I listened to a student proposal our first year at the high school, and we implemented it the second year then. And that has now become, I think a really, really popular and informative and educational club that students have been in. So we just encourage you to get involved. And, you certainly, that the point of high school is to try different things on to see what fits for you and what works for you and what your interests might be, and also to rule out those things that you thought were your interests and really not something that you necessarily want to continue with. So, we have students that stay with some clubs for the whole 4 years, and other students that each year like to try out a new club, and that's okay. But I want to just assure everybody not to worry. We'll take good care of you. I know it's a little nerve-wracking going to a new building. Again, I really think that having that day that it's just the freshmen here, the first day of school, and where you get to actually go through your entire schedule and cafeteria and everything, where it's just you, makes it so much easier and really helps you navigate the building and learn where things are. It's an incredibly talented and caring group of individuals. And what I would just say is that if you have questions, ask, because there is just never a shortage of people who want to help you out. And everybody has the goal of making your high school experience the best it absolutely can be. So again, I would just like to remind you that those schedule sheets need to be filled in and returned to the middle school by the 21st. And again, the portal closes by the 28th. Parents, you can either do that at home or have your child do it at school, whichever is easiest for you. We will probably around the 21st start to send out reminders and contact individuals that have not gotten it done, not because we're trying to nag you, but because we want to make sure that no one is missed during that. So we hope you find this informative, and we really look forward to welcoming you to the high school next year.